So, Alistair and
Dallas.
here talking to you about hike concepts, self-development tools that you can use to create, to attune with, to encourage your most optimal functioning. Today, we are revisiting a topic we've already discussed called letting go. It's very, very, very important to understand the importance of the practice of letting go. There are a number of different letting go practices, but we wanted to just emphasize why we always visit letting go. You want to start us with that, Dallas?
I'll continue with what we do at Hike is try and help and demonstrate and encourage people to pay attention to their experience so that they can respond to their experience. And letting go is huge because there are many ways that our mind works where I get caught on a thought that one thing means another thing, and it does. And what does it mean to let go for more possibilities, more opportunity, more available outcomes? So letting go of predictable, it's like, this is predictable, this is going to happen this way, and it might happen another way, which might even be that much more beautiful than I can imagine.
Like letting go of expectation of something in the future. Is that what you're getting at?
I believe that is the main point, because that's what a lot of sticky thoughts do. It's like, that means that this next moment is determined, when it's
Already
not.
defined.
It's not.
What about the past, though? I mean, yes, I get stuck on the future. I start to worry about things, but I also do a lot of intentional thinking, like focused, intentional thinking, which seems harder than just kind of letting the mind go and go and go. But what about the past? Like, I get stuck in the past a lot.
Oh, that's exactly why, because all of these things that have happened, all of these things I have experienced, all of these things that have been introduced to me through my experience, through others sharing experience, are those play and replay and replay and replay and replay and replay. And if that is a cycle that is, a lot of it is unconscious, and that's why we do this, is to become aware of all of the unconscious parts of us, all the instinctual, all of the reflexive ways that we respond, and retraining that, because all of this circular thinking can be shifted into a larger circle, into a larger spiral. If I can let go of my thinking is going right here, if I can let go of that and let that thinking go here, and then let go of that and then start thinking here.
So like expanding your awareness or deepening your awareness to include other experience, like even more now experience, versus I'm caught up in the past. I'm thinking about stuff that happened, or even just like you said, reflexively or instinctively, my brain has been mapped in a certain way through my conditioning, through my life experience, through the repetitive ways that I've thought or felt during times of my life, ways that I'm engaging with others. And sometimes this stuff still comes up for me, but definitely not as much as it did 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, because I have learned to integrate experiences and learn from them so that I can think about them differently.
Yes, thinking conditioning, that happens because we're born into society, we're born into families, we're born into this world. And it is even beyond that if you look at genetics, because we're all built out of that DNA that has connections to the past also. So how do we let go of my own interpretation, which could be limited, and then my parents and their parents and their parents? And that's a practice, and that's part of the expansion. How much of this am I willing to be aware of so that I can shift and actually have free choice from this moment on?
Versus habit. I'm thinking this way out of habit. And
from
now
this
I'm
moment
choosing
on.
to think this way.
Yes, meditation is great, and focused meditation. I'm letting go, and I'm wanting to get that silence in mind so that I can think in ways that I want to think rather than just spacing out.
And I just want to add and feel like you're thinking oriented and I'm feeling oriented. So when I speak this language, I'm considering ways that I can help myself feel better on a moment to moment basis. Like I've had some habits of anxiety and worry coming up over the past few days about upcoming events. And I notice that if I let my mind go with them, then the feeling just kind of stays there. But if I do a letting go practice, if I'm grounded and centered, I'm able to move beyond that habitual kind of worry about, are things going to unfold in a way that I want them to, and just let them unfold in the ways that they do.
Mm-hmm. Um, thinking, feeling. Yes, to understand this is my center point. So I think a lot about things, and I want to be able to feel also and be aware of this. And part of the learning, this is my learning on how to connect that with the body, the body wisdom that is, there's so many neurons in our body that are not up here. They're all the way through our body, and they're thinking also in different language, in symbolic language, in
Sensory language.
sensory language. And it is as important, and making that connection. Where is this thought coming from? And do I like it? Do I think that contributes to, it's not about happiness so much, but satisfaction that I am doing the best that I can right now, that I am engaged in ways that feel life affirming to me, to the people I care about, to this earth, to the animals, plants, all.
And to get there, we need to be able to let go of the garbage that kind of clogs it up and clogs the thinking and clogs the feeling, ways that we acquired through socialization, through family mandates, and ways that we weren't in control of. And now we can actually let go of the past and create these new habits of thinking and allowing life to unfold in new and beautiful and wonderful ways.
Right. Thinking about all of unconscious things. So I get triggered and I'm freaking out. Like, what is this? I don't know what to do right now because I got triggered. Something just is now making me think in
You
ways
experienced something.
that are terrifying. And if I let it get to that point, and how do I switch my thinking before I get terrified by my own thoughts?
Yeah, and the terrifying aspect of it is a feeling. That is the nervous system chemistry that we're talking about when we're letting go of feelings. The fear is on steroids when you're terrified.
Right.
You want to be able to let it go.
So relational. I'm doing my best to represent my being, and relationships are huge triggers for anybody, really. And they could be really good, huge triggers. They could be really uncomfortable, huge triggers. And so then in these moments, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Because I want this to go well. I want to have a good relationship with my environment, with the people, with the animals, with the plants. And whatever just happened that took me off center, how far off center do I get before I realize that that's not helpful right now? And I need to make that choice. How do I come back to center? How do I let this go? How do I let this go?
I see you breathing. Breathing is an excellent way to let things go, right? Moving your body, breathing, staying focused, consciously releasing thoughts. When I was at Naropa, we talked a lot about just imagining dropping a pedal into a calm lake, or a pebble into a calm lake, as a way of letting go, as kind of a metaphor or a analogy for letting go. But there's a hike practice, which we've already demonstrated once and would like to do that again. Do you want to demonstrate, or do you want me to demonstrate? I'll just talk you through it. Or,
Yes.
okay, just because we don't have much screen area. And so Dallas is standing in 3 legs, axis, centered. He's got a little bit of extra support from that 3rd leg, just envisioning that 3rd leg along with coming out his tailbone from the axis. He's grounding and centering and just tucking your chin. There are going to be 9 breaths, starting, synchronizing inhale and exhale, starting with that left hand, up with the right hand, inhale and exhale. So there's some pranayama happening here. Left hand again, or right hand, sorry. And left hand, synchronizing breath with movement. We're creating balloons to let go of. Right hand again comes up, inhaling and exhaling. And last time, left hand, inhale and exhale. And now both hands come up on the inhale, just letting go of this balloon of energy that's been created. And then exhaling, hands come down again. Both hands come up, and then blowing away this energy balloon that he's created. And then the last time, both hands come up. Inhaling, letting go of this balloon, just letting it go. And then coming back to center. And so this would be one of a number of practices you might do at any given time as a daily practice. This is also just one of those general hygienic practices that you want to engage in. Leanna calls it basic hygiene, letting go. So think about all of the things that you might be carrying around with you in your metaphorical backpack: stressors, worries, concerns, traumas, just experiences that kind of stick with you. Even the good ones. The good ones are great because you can recreate the happy chemistries when you're thinking of good positive experiences. But for the most part, we want to be really clear of the past and clear enough that we're not focusing or projecting out into the future. We want to be here in this present moment as much as possible.
Yes. Thinking about all those things you just said, like these things are coming to mind. This is something that I would like to be able to let go of, or this is something that I'd like to be able to respond to differently, or however, as I'm thinking about these things, don't get caught up throughout the day. I need to think about this all day long, every day, but notice I'm ready to explore this in this moment. So I'm thinking about these things, and then I'm going to practice, or I'm going to practice. And this is 9 breaths, 3 on each side, 3 together, 9 breaths of focused, intentional practice. I am practicing this so that as I explore my experience throughout the day, as I explore my options of response in my interactions, that I can notice these things and go, yep, that's one that I want to shift. That's one that I want to do better in my own representation. So I can take a breath, because earlier this day I took those 9 breaths, and now I know how to do it within 1 in this moment, because I may take that breath, and then when time allows, then go to where I can actually move everything and go, yes, that was good, and this is now complete. And every time how close to complete can I get in this letting go?
Hmm.
And then do it again tomorrow, do it again in 5 minutes if that thought keeps coming up.
Yeah. Makes me think about the thing that I've heard around sweat lodge and the Native American ceremonies is that the medicine men ask to be a hollow bone. And so this is so that inspiration can move through them without it being hindered by their own personality or their own personal life experience. So this is one of those ways that we clear ourselves out so that we can be inspired by those higher thoughts.
Yeah, thinking about striving to be a hollow bone, that doesn't take away your personality. It doesn't take away your character. It allows for a moment of getting beyond that when it's called for. How do I get past my connection to myself in this relationship so that clear thinking can come through from beyond me, so that I can interact in the best positive potential next moment. And then when that moment for needing to represent that hollow bone has passed, then I get to be fully myself and just enjoy interaction. And then I have that capability to go, wait a minute, I need something beyond myself again. And so I open up so that that can come through, so that I can be present, so that I can be aware that my demonstration of life through me is what I want it to be, is the
Nice.
best possible.
Awesome. So go out there, be your best self, and let go when necessary so that good things can come through. Right? Is that what we have to say now today? That's it.
Enjoy, let
Yeah.
go and enjoy, and focus on what you want to focus on.
Awesome. Have a great day, everybody. Happy Monday. Woo.